Now here we are going to understand one more logic that is called as HTTP status codes. We will try to understand what is HTTP status codes, what are the types of HTTP status codes, and what are the different type of status code we usually need while doing API testing. Okay, first let's try to connect. This is the definition is like browsers and servers interact via HTTP status code. The browser transmits your request to a server, which then delivers a response when you use the internet to seek information from a server. This is theory. Okay, let me give you a small example to understand it. What really happens when you make a request from client to server, right? When you make a request from client to server, server will send a response as we have discussed, and the response will be in the JSON, XML or any format, and that one we call it as a response body. But along with the response body, okay, along with the response body, server also returns one informational code. One informational code, that means it will let you know that what is the immediate answer to your call. For example, if you call somebody, right, to your friend, you say hello, right? Another person also say hello, right, to you. Or if you say hi, they will say hi or hello, anything, right? Any greeting message. Then you come to know that, okay, I'm talking to the right person. Then your conversation starts. Similarly, status code is the first thing we do in a API testing or API validation. Or status code is the thing which is the primary health check for your response from the server to the client. That means whenever client make a request to the server and server sends the response, it has two important things to check. First is status code, second is response body. What is status code? It is nothing, just a health check, or you can say a greeting message, right? You will come to know that what is the exact result of your request. Then all the response and the details will be merged in the response body. And this status code is mandatory for every API tester to check. Why? Because unless your status code is not correct, you cannot proceed further and check your response body, because this is your first health check. Your first health check or your first level of validation will happen in status code. Now the question is, does all HTTP methods that we learn, get, post, put, patch, delete, head options, provide us status codes? Answer is yes. Every HTTP methods we discussed, every HTTP methods will return you a status code. But now here there is a tricky question, right? I have told that difference between head and get is, I'm just trying to correlate, okay? It will be easy for you. Head and get. What is the difference between head and get? Get will provide you response body, but head will not provide you response body. Does that mean if head is not providing response body, will it provide a response, at least a status code? The answer is yes, right? So head will provide you the status code, but it will not provide you the response body. Get will provide me the status code? Yes. Similarly for all HTTP methods. So every HTTP methods, the bare minimum thing which you can expect from the server is status code. So this is kind of the most important validation or most important thing you need to first check. And your response may not contain a status body or response body, as we see in the head. And there are some other scenarios also where you may not get the response body, right? But you will get the status code. Now the curiosity question, what would be the scenario where I will not get a response body? Maybe you are asking data of Michael, right? But Michael is not a student in some school. And what it will return? It doesn't have any data, right? Then it will return you at least status code. From status code, you will figure out that, okay, Michael's data is not present. How we will figure out from status code that Michael data is not present, that's why there is no response body, we will discuss in this categories. Categories are the fundamentals of HTTP status codes. Here we will define like by looking at the status code, how we will figure out that what kind of response I'm getting from server. So status codes are basically divided into 5 types. Okay. 1x series. 1x series means 100, 101, 100, 200, 300 till 199, any numbers, right? Is basically means informational, means whenever server want to give any response in informational, for example, I am processing your request, just give an example, right? I am processing a request or some informational thing, then you will get the response in 1x series, means 100, 200, 100, 102, 104, something like this. Similarly, if server is able to process your request and providing you response, then it is called as success. That means whatever request you have made is successfully executed. Example, I am asking data of Michael in the right school and I got the data. Then what response status code I can expect in 2x series. 2x series means 200, 201, 202, 204. There are many 200 series status codes. We will discuss about it, but this is overall health, right? When you are checking over, this is very important because you will get to know your overall health. If you get any status code related to 2x series or starting with 2, you know that, okay, at least my request is successfully executed, right? That's why we have to know this, so that whenever we start debugging our issues, we will easily get to know that, okay, this is the issue, that's why it got failed or something like that, right? 3x series is dedicated to redirection. Typical example, when you are making a payment in for Pizza Hut, we remember, right, in the first example. So we are buying a pizza and then our website is redirecting to banking website, right? When you make a payment for online shopping or anything, it redirects to your banking website, correct? That's where it will return you 3x series, because you are redirecting from one to another. That's where you will get 3x. So any status code related to 3x series, that means your request is getting redirected, right? It is not success, it is not informational, it is redirecting. Now the fourth one is the 4x series. This is the one where you are going to deal a lot. Okay. In fact, 1x and 3x is not even used in testing much. Very rare times you will see 3x, but 1x never. Okay. Mostly you will deal with 2x and 4x, because testing means success and failure, right? Pass or fail most of the time, correct? That's why 4x series is the most important one. In the 4x series, whenever you get 4x series means this is an error. Okay, because something doesn't work. If something doesn't work, it will give you 4x series. But here there is a trick. If you get 5x series also, that means it is an error. So everything which is in 4 and 5 is error. But what's the difference between 4 and 5 then? 4 means client side error. Means you are making a request from client to server, right? Whenever there is a problem in the request or whatever you are asking to the server that is not in correct format, or maybe with correct authentication, or maybe with incorrect resource, it will give you 4x. So I told you, right? Michael example. Let instead of Michael, you are asking for some student who is not present in the school, right? Then you will get 4x series. Why? Because the student is not present. So your request is not successfully processed. You will get 400 series, because this is an error. You have made mistake from the client side. You have not asked the correct data. So the request that has been made from client to server is not correct. Then only you will get client. Now what is an example of server error then? Let you are asking data of Michael in the correct school only. For the correct school, you are asking data to Michael. But due to some reason, your server is down. Right? Due to some reason, your server is down. Then what kind of error you will get? 500 series. Because this is a server side error. There is no problem in making the request. Client has asked the correct data. Right? He knows that, okay, Michael is present and Michael's data is present. He is asking everything correctly. The request, there is no problem with the request. But the problem is with server. Server is unable to process your request because server is down. So most common 500 series example is server down. And most common 4x series example means you are asking data for a wrong person, right? 300 means example of redirecting banking, as I told. 2x means always success. 2x means your happy path, right? Whenever you make a request, everything get processed, you get the data of Michael. 200. 1x means informational. Now those 5 are the categories, right? But when I write 1xs, 2xs, 3xx, that means there are multiple numbers to it. It's not like only this much is enough. Those are high level of information about the categories, right? In interview, they will ask you 100%, they will ask you out of this 5, they will ask you what is the difference between 4x and 5x series, for sure. Okay, in every interview you can expect this. From previous session I told you put versus patch, right? Atom potency, those are the important. Here 100% they will ask you what is the difference between 4x and 5x. So try to give the example I have given, right? So that it would be easy. But overall definition, this is client side error, 5x is server side error. Now we understood that what are status codes, what are the types of status codes. Here I have given a couple of description of status codes, right? Indicates that the client request was accepted successfully. All those what we have discussed, it is basically in theoretical terms. If you prefer to do a revision from theory, you